Welcome back. My name is Jeff. I'm the owner of RDR Gear here in Salt Lake City, Utah. I got Chris Cook from Odyssey Training Center with me, and once again, we're at the Farm Training Center. We're going to bring you guys some task light topic. These lights here we're going to discuss, but first let me tell you what we do at RDR Gear. If you don't know, here's how you can find out. One, we're a soft goods manufacturer. We specialize in everything from plate carriers, chest rigs, placards, med kits, a full line of professional grade canine gear, our bread and butter line of Kydex holsters, which we'll be revamping this year to bring you guys an even better product. And probably what we're most known for right now is our Safariland holster mods and holster wraps. We've been doing that now for 6 years, offering modified Safariland holsters in various different colors that you can't get through the OEM channels, as well as modified holsters for 5-inch 2011s, VP9s, VP9 Tacticals, Walther PDPs, you name it. To see all those different mods that we offer, I post them on our Instagram and our Facebook page. You can see those products there. They're often a one-off that I show you guys kind of a behind-the-scenes peek of what we're offering. You can find all those products on our website at rdrgear.com. If you have questions about your order, you can email me at info@rdrholsters.com. So with all that housekeeping out of the way, let's talk task lights. So task lights is different from a handheld, maybe EDC light, so to speak, right? These can fill a role in a EDC format. Do you agree?
Yeah, they're more of that that everyday duties and tasks of your normal life, right? These are not defensive flashlights. No. I think that's kind of what we might say.
Exactly.
These are not lights that we would say, hey, this is a primary safety tool for blinding people or using with a handgun and all that kind of stuff. These don't have the capability and the power that purpose-built defensive handheld flashlights have, but they do give us a lot of other capability in a lot of other areas, outdoor stuff, finding your keys in your car, all that kind of stuff.
So a little backstory. Crispy, I always like backstory. So the MicroStream, I gave Crispy this one here, I think last year at one point in time, but these MicroStream lights are a little LED. They come with a lanyard. These are USB rechargeable. You just yank on them right here and you expose a USB charger. When I was working in the nightclub life years ago, and that USB right there, you can kind of see, where is it at? I can't even see in the dark, but there's a USB charger right there and you just pull the head forward and then you close it back up like so. But in the nightclub, the girls, bottle service girls, would wear clothing that was very similar to the customers. All you see is a pretty girl wearing a great outfit, and there was hard to track them in the crowd when it got busy, unless they were carrying 2 champagne bottles with sparkles on them.
Sure.
So I would buy these for all the girls, and they have a lanyard that comes with these, and basically the clip design right here, you'll see how it's bezeled down. They would run the lanyard through around their neck. They could run it in their tops and hook it to the outside of their clothing. So now if they had an issue, with a customer or whatever, they could flash that light and we'd see that in the crowd, because you'd be surprised that this type of light from one isolated source is much different than lights going on in the ceiling and the disco lights and whatnot. Yeah. So this is a great task light for the girls because they could move people out of the way, splash them in the face at 3 feet. This light has a little bit of juice to it, 100%. Right? 300 or 250 lumens, USB rechargeable, but these are great little lights to hook to the visor of the car, in your bag, whatever you want to do, but it's a great little light. For some folks, it might be too small. We kind of have some different sizes, and we're going to go up in lumens and up in style. So
yeah, but I love the MicroStream. They used to make it with a 2 battery model and a 1 battery model. I've carried both. I had a 2 battery model for at least 6 years.
Yeah, the stylus model, I think it was.
Stylus,
right? Yeah.
That's it. Yep. I was carrying a stylus for years and years. I used to work on cargo vessels, oil tankers, container ships, and stuff like that. That thing was in my pocket on every bridge watch that I had. I've taken more positions on a chart with a Streamlight stylus than probably any other light. So big fan of the small ones. Again, super low profile for people who are in. Not a lot of clothing on, right? But people at the beach, you can have one of these guys on really, really well. This guy, probably not. The Streamlight wedge, a little bit bigger, quite a bit longer. This is getting to the point that's kind of hard to carry in a pocket, but very interesting switch design. I've been a big fan of it. What are your thoughts on?
So this is my personal EDC daily task light. I personally, you can see how they beat the crap the clip is. This is my dog poop flashlight, right? I live in a condo, so the condo Nazis are, you know, Hershey's a big lab, but he's also a chocolate lab. So sometimes I let him off leash. He's a little bit difficult to find. This light is great because as it sits in the pocket, it's flush, right? So it's almost like a blade. Now, have I ever put a knife in the wrong pocket in this thing? Yeah, I have. Have I grabbed this thinking it was a Microtech before?
Sure.
So that is one thing there. But what's cool about this is a task light, you can hook this into, as an LE guy, you can hook into a plate carrier, into a MOLLE slot. You can hook it inside of your carrier. You can do a lot of different mounting things, but it's so thin and flush. The USB charger up top is exposed, but it's got IPX7, I believe, technology. So it is 100% waterproof, no issue whatsoever, even though it's not covered. You don't have to worry about, you know, rain or moisture, whatever in the top. As Chris mentioned, the switch is weird because you're holding it like an out the front Microtech blade because it turns on this way. It has two settings, right? So you have a standard task light setting, push one time, and then if you push it again, it's got what's called Thor. And basically that's, God, you know, I should have brought a note on it, but it's basically a high output max light setting. The technology is there in the light, but man, this thing is great because I can point with it like I was looking for something on the ground. It is a very good task light, so this is something that I carry with me when I walk the dogs.
Yeah, and like we said, these are what we're talking about. Like these probably aren't defensive lights. You know, this type of switchology, if you were trying to use that in a
it would be very awkward.
Yeah, if you read old doctrines, this would traditionally be called a sword grip, where you have a button on the front versus an ice pick grip, right?
Streamlights.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe not the best defensive light, but certainly, like you're saying, awesome task light. Once we get up into the macro stream and the...
real quick here. So you guys, what Chris is talking about, right? So if you'll see some different tonight, we'll have some different positions for rear push button lights, whatnot. But this here, if you were trying to use it for a defensive light, you literally would have to turn it on and then change the position of the hand to use it in certain crossover,
probably
or high temp or tempo index, whatever.
If you read the old manuals, they've got techniques for sword grip lights.
And I know you can do a low, you can do a two palm press, you can do a lot of things. But again, once you see this light, you'll realize it ain't a whole lot. But you know, 3 feet from waist high to the ground, looking for the dog, you know, going to the car or whatnot. Again, task light, great product.
Works really well. Once you get up into the macro stream and the HLX, now we're starting to get to an output that we would consider that a good defensive handheld flashlight. So the macro stream, 500 lumens, right? Starting to get big enough that it fills the hand relatively well. One of the things that we like about a handheld defensive flashlight is the ability to use it as an improvised impact weapon. So having something that actually comes out the bottom of your hand that we can use in, again, an extreme situation as a small thing in combatives. We're starting to get to the profile that fits well for this. We got that ice pick grip, we got the button on the back, got a decent output. So for something like this, if you're a small statured person or a female or anything like that, and you don't have a lot of space in your attire, I really, really recommend the MacroStream USB rechargeable. Same way?
Yeah.
Different way?
Pull ahead.
Pull ahead?
Pull
ahead?
Rotate.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Found it. So, you know, definitely recommend that one. Once you get up, any thoughts on the macro stream?
You know, the two, like if you guys, you know, somebody who wanted to carry a light all the time and you didn't want a huge pocket light, the great thing about these clips is the direction they're going. They're bezel down, right? As they come out of the pocket, it's easy to get access to that, right? Versus going bezel up. Because bezel up, like on some of the Surefire lights, everybody knows it's a flashlight. This thing sits flush enough in the pocket that you're not going to have an accidental ND. And if you do have one that's in your pocket, you'll feel the heat a little later. But at the end of the day, it's super easy to carry in a pair of slacks and blue jeans. So again, if you wanted something in an office space where, you know, maybe you're just a little more security conscious, this is a great way to be dressed in business attire or jeans and a t-shirt and have something on you at all times that gives you some decent, you know, if you're doing, you know, helping people get to an exit, whatever, or you're flashing down the local Leos or arriving, whatever, it's a good way to have a light with you at all times.
Absolutely, 100% agree. And then eventually, you're obviously going to get to a full-size duty light profile. So the Streamlight HLX, been around a while, very popular light, 1,000 lumens.
27,000 candela, I think it is.
Yeah, it's well over 20,000 candela. So definitely a big light, an 18650 rechargeable battery in there. This is where we can obviously see this would be something that You could carry it every day, but this is pretty big and pretty bulky. It's relatively thick on the profile. So it's going to be, bulging. It's in your pocket. You're sitting on it. All that kind of stuff. It's not super comfortable, but gives you a lot of capability. So something like a law enforcement officer, if you've got a pouch on a duty belt or something like that, that would be what we're looking for. I also really, really recommend the HLX for home defense. So if you're looking for a light for home defense, having something on the bedside table that you can get up and start to investigate things with. It doesn't need to be small. It needs to be as powerful as we can get away with, right? So the HLX and all of the HL line are starting to get to a really good profile and a really good lumen count. So I really, really recommend these. Everyone's had that situation where I don't think I need a gun right now, but I'm not going back to bed. Yeah. I think there's a raccoon in the trash.
Sure.
Now I might get my gun, I might keep it concealed or something like that and hidden, but I want to search my house and see what's going on. I really think it's not a bad guy, but I got to double check. And then you can look for the raccoon in the trash with something big and bright. So
the HLX, I think, is a great, as Chris mentioned, this is a good one. Again, clip design allows you a very deep pocket setting, and it can go, it's basically this little piece right here is your pocket clip. But this one here, when I worked in the retail side of LE sales, this is a great one because the pouch it comes with is a great pouch to simply have as your backup light. If you've got a Streamlight, Stinger, some kind of a chargeable duty flashlight for traffic use, heavy rain, whatnot, this is your backup light, almost your task light, so to speak, in an LE setting. They run a little pouch that has bezel up, and it's got a flap over the top, and you can mount it pretty much anywhere on the belt, on the plate carrier. It's just a little chintzy nylon one, but it gives you ability to have a very capable backup duty light compared in comparison to your Streamlight, Stinger, whichever you had. So at the end of the day, great option and very well priced point as well.
That's what I was going to say. I think one of probably the biggest detractors for the Streamlight line of products is the price point, where you're getting good output, you're getting good runtime, you're getting good features, and you're getting pretty decent durability and ruggedness for half the price of what some of the really high level competitors are out there. So if you're someone who's more budget conscious and you're like, hey, look, I'm not going to spend $300 on a flashlight, it's just not going to happen. Fair enough, right? But being able to have something in that $100, $50 to $100 range that gives us good capability that we will carry every day, because a handheld flashlight's an immensely powerful EDC tool. I'm a huge fan, especially when you get on the smaller side. We're getting a lot of capability in a small package. There's a joke in there that I could make, but I'm a professional and I'm not going to make that kind of joke.
When you guys look at the HLX2, there is some of a impact bezel here. There is a segmented bezel up top right here, so it's a high and a low. Once you get that on top of the hand, you'll definitely feel it, especially in the little bones in the hand. Same in the rear as well. But this is a great option for anybody if you go into a low light handheld or a low light handgun class, and there is a requirement of a handheld and a weapon light, which there should be for anybody's reputable handgun class.
Plot twist.
Yes, exactly.
On my upcoming low light handgun class, there is.
Yes. So Chris has got a great class coming that's going to be a great option for anybody looking for a low light handheld, or excuse me, low light, no light type training class, because those classes, you guys, we'll segue in that a little bit. They are very hard and very far and few between. Not a lot of people do one well. We both have trained in Brian Valise of Centrifuge Training. Brian is probably one of the best low light, no light instructors in the country. I don't say that lightly, because at the end of the day, Brian and I are friends, but the methods and the way he teaches and the use of the gun on the light or the weapon on the light. Did I say that right?
He's got a really good program.
Yes.
Took a lot of other people's programs before, and without a doubt, obviously low light training has advanced a lot, even in the last 5 to 10 years. If you took a low light handgun class 10 years ago and you said, oh yeah, like they told me a 200 lumen light was pretty good, and they told me, the bad guy's going to shoot at the light and all these different things, trust me, come to class and you'll find out some good stuff.
This would be a great option for that, because at the end of the day, you're going to work both. You're going to work the one on your gun, you're going to work the one on your hand. There's going to be different applications for both, and this is a great one because of its size and the rear activation. It's a great light to get you to the class without killing your bank. You don't need to go above and beyond. So that's it for me on this one. So anything you got to add?
Nope, that's it. Come to class, learn how to figure out how to use these things well, both on the it's a gunfight, how do we use a flashlight side, but then also how do we use a flashlight as part of our EDC to deter a crime, dissuade somebody who may be grooming us for a crime. Hey, you got $1. How does a flashlight fit into scenarios like that?
So you got dates on that class?
I do. November 19th. Here at the Farm Training Center in Salt Lake City, Utah. It's going to be afternoon to evening, so we'll get to have some good handheld practice in the daylight, talk about some low light theory, different handheld and weapon mounted techniques for everything in the low light, and eventually we get to shoot around cars and barricades with a team in a low light setting. So
cool.
Going to be a good time.
And they can find that class where?
OdysseyTrainingLLC.com. ODYSSEY TrainingLLC.com.
Cool. All right, guys. So task light. This is a pretty simple topic. Even Crispy, with the new Forerunner we were talking, he was in the back. I gave him one of these little micro streams, and he's looking for something in the car. So task lights, girlfriends, wives, vehicles, shit, you can get 3 of these things for well under $100. These are USB rechargeables. You pull them open, USB right there, close that sucker up, you're good to go. These other options are USB as well. Some are bigger, some are smaller, but if the wife, the girlfriend, daughter going to school, crossing campus, something like this is super great. It's very bright on the camera. You probably saw that. Chris is blinking. But task lights, have them in the car, have them in the house, especially the USB ones now. It's not always so much about the combat or gunfighting weapon light. These will all work in that capacity if needed. But at the end of the day, they are task lights, camp lights, toolbox, fishing tackle, etc. But highly recommend the Streamlight products. These are very affordable, very easy to get your hands on. Amazon, local sports stores, gun stores, you name it, have all these models in stock. The one that I recommend the most, as I mentioned, is the MicroStream USB. And you can pick your whatever you want from there, guys. So again, get 1, get 3. It behooves you to have them. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, post 2 videos every week on Get a Review, Get a Manufacturer, Get a We Use. Until next time, be well, take care, and be sure to, on the comments, give a big congrats to Crispy on his new runner. Everybody at home, big shout out to Crispy for getting his first brand new vehicle, which he's been wanting for a long time, which I'm very proud of him and very happy for him. He got a Forerunner. How do they say it? Faux runner?
No, it's just runner. You drop it.
Runner is how the kids say it these days. That's how they say it when it's lit.
Probably, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So now he did get a new Forerunner. I'm super excited for him. So, which now forces me to get my Sequoia. So, but all right, you guys comment in the comment section. Do I wait 3 years for a TRD Pro Sequoia? That's what Toyota is quoting me. A 3-year lead time for this damn car. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Will you still be able to have a license in 3 years?
That's a very good question, asshole. And do you know, how are you going to pay for that Forerunner when you need it? Anybody looking for a content creator out there, Crispy has large amounts of time available starting in about 3 minutes. You're fired. She's a 6, but drives a 1998 Forerunner.
Is it like modified and clean, or is it just handled?
It's straight hippie tassels in the window and shit. So like patchouli. But she's a 6.
She starts as a 6?
She's a 6.
Stays a 6.
Man.
I could get down with like a hippie girl.